This is One on One.
What are the odds? Let's count the odds. Let's count the odds to 5. 1, 3, 5. 5 fingers, 5 toes. Altogether there's 20 of those. Each set has 10. That's not odds, that's evens. But what are the odds?
Love that stuff. You're looking at Meredith LeVande, the creator of Monkey Monkey Music, and that's what we were just looking at, right?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, good to see you. Now listen, Monkey Monkey Music was created, what, 10 years ago?
Actually now 11, well, technically it didn't begin officially until 2004, but I've been a children's musician since about 2000, so.
What does it mean?
To be a children's musician?
No!
Oh, Monkey Monkey.
What's up with you? Come on, let's go, we gotta do this. No, Monkey, it's a great name.
Yeah.
And on our daughter Olivia, who you've heard me talk about before,
Yes.
as we do this program, is 18 months. When she's watching NJTV, our new network here, it's not so new anymore here in New Jersey, when we watch the interstitial, she sees it, she goes crazy,
Aw.
like a little monkey, and I often call her that. Monkey Monkey Music, is that it?
That's why we call it Monkey Monkey Music. What happened was when I started playing music for young children, their responses were just so energetic and primal, and when I watched them, they just looked like little monkeys.
They do.
And I just, every time I saw their response, they just looked like monkeys, so that was it. It was Monkey Monkey Music.
Now, you're a musician.
Mm-hmm.
Was there, in your evolution as a musician, in your art, was there a time, was there a reason that you said, I want to focus on children's music?
Yeah, actually, I was a singer-songwriter. I used to perform at a lot of colleges, and my music, my adult music, it was kind of sad and depressing and very introspective, and I didn't feel good doing it all the time. I mean, it felt great, but it didn't. And one time I was just in this situation where I had to perform for children, and their reactions were just so incredible that it reminded me as to what I loved about music as a child, and that was it. It was like, it brought me to playing music for children, and I found it less about me, which is what I needed, just more about communicating, and so that was it. I mean, I didn't really think much
But your
more
music
about it.
also has the video component.
Yes.
And by the way, tell us about the connection to NJTV. In all seriousness, the network created by our partners at WNET, Neil Shapiro and John Servideo, they've done an incredible job,
They
and
have.
we're honored to be a small part of it. But when we watch and we see that you've created these what are called interstitials in between programs,
Yes.
right? How does that come about that you say, hey, listen, we've got something, and we feel we can add to this new network? There's an entrepreneurial component, right?
Absolutely. Basically what happened was when I first started writing children's music, I had contacted WLIW. That was a long time ago.
Which is part of the WNET family.
Exactly.
Out in Long Island.
And because I love public television, I loved it then and I love it now.
Well, because we're the best.
We absolutely are. And I wanted to work in it, and I introduced myself to her. And we kept in touch, very sporadically throughout the years. And then when I made these videos, I sent them to her.
How'd you make them, by the way?
Well, it's a little kooky. I mean.
But you had to come up with a plan
Yes.
to produce, to write, to
Yes.
create, to edit,
Yes.
to direct.
Yes.
You.
Yes. Yes. There is definitely, it's a little insane.
And pay for.
Yes, that's true.
Go ahead.
That's true. Basically, what happened was I made one music video that I put on my website. I really didn't, know what I was doing, but parents kept calling me and saying, will you make another one? Because we're watching this over and over and over and over again. And then I did. And then I just completely fell in love with the process of making the videos. And it was an obsession. Like, the person I was working with, she was like, well, we can make 2. And I'm like, no, we're going to make 10. And
You're a producer at heart.
yeah, no, I definitely am.
And where do these kids come from, by the way?
Most of them now I get through a talent agent. I find that it's sometimes easier to work with children that
But
don't-
originally, come on, they had to be neighborhood kids.
No,
Originally?
originally some of them were. I played birthday parties for several years, And so some of them still, they come
Right.
from people I know, but for the most part now I use a talent agent. And I find that the kids are a little bit more focused and they tend to take direction a little better.
Dancing's involved.
Yes.
Movement. Choreography, right?
Yes, things that I'm definitely not a dancer or a choreographer, so for sure.
But patterns are a part of it.
Yes.
Explain that.
Patterns in terms of how I produce, or in terms
Well,
of
the whole idea is that when I say patterns, I mean
Yeah.
there's a choreography to it.
Yes.
So there's a beginning, there's a middle, and an end.
Yes.
And these kids have to follow it.
Well, the way that before I shoot any video, I have a very clear picture of
Right.
what it is that I'm going to shoot. And most of the time you never shoot in order of the video, that the way that it's
Right.
the way that it's edited. And so a lot of the times you can prepare for something and it's going to be totally different than what you prepared for, but you have to be prepared. And the beauty of it is that some of these kids just have such wild imaginations, and that's when you really get the best shots. When you're sort of directing them, but then on their own, they come up with their own facial expressions. Or in that odds video, we never asked the little boy at the end to stick his face through the 9, and that's where you get the best footage, really,
What's the age group you're shooting for?
Well, it's interesting because when I first started working with children, I would say that my music had a broader age range, and now I think that children are targeted to listen to adult music much younger than they should be. So I've noticed a little bit of a difference. So generally speaking, it's the preschool to early childhood age.
30 videos so far.
Yes.
Long-term goal, where do you want to be? With Monkey music.
Well, seeing just how much joy and the response right now the videos are airing in over 70 markets.
Great.
On over 100 public television stations. And, people are contacting me from places like Oklahoma and California and telling me that their children just love these videos. And when you see that response, you just want to continue it and make more. And so my goal is to keep making the videos, but also hopefully turn it into a longer format series.
Good for you. We're proud of you.
Oh, well, I'm
And-
so proud to be on this network. And the people at now NJTV, have been amazingly supportive and wonderful. And I hope to be in public television for a really, really long time.
Well, that's why Neil Shapiro and the folks at WNET started this initiative, is to find talent like you and put you on the air.
Wow. Well,
And you're Jersey grown?
I absolutely am.
See?
Fair Lawn, New Jersey.
A lot of talent in this state. Meredith LeVande, creator of Monkey Music, and we appreciate you in our house, particularly our littlest one, Olivia. Thank you so much,
Thank
Meredith.
you
We wish
so
you nothing
much.
but the best.
It's
Keep
such a
us
pleasure
posted
to be
down
here.
the road, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks. One-on-one continues with fascinating people, really talented people. Right after this, stay with us.
Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by the Adler Aphasia Center, empowering, enhancing, and enriching the lives of people with aphasia and their families. The Russell Berry Foundation, Fedway Associates, Inc., J.H. Cohn, Accountants and Consultants, we turn expertise into results, and by the Christian Plumeri Foundation. Promotional support provided by The Record, North Jersey's trusted source, and northjersey.com. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.